Welcome back to another rebuild as we go to Vicarage Road, the Hornets, Watford. We are going to be taking over them with news as of today of recording. Tom Cleverley has been sacked, and that is for finishing 14th and way off the pace in the race to the playoffs. As you can see, they finished in 14th position, some way off, 10 points off playoff place. It's somewhat way off though, to be fair, with 4 losses in the last 5 games, which kind of destroyed all their hopes and chances really. So they'll end up spending another season in the Championship. So we've been brought in to get them back to the Premiership as quick as possible and win them a Premiership title. So that's what we're going to try and do. They are predicted to finish 9th, which isn't all good omens. We need to get promotion or at least to the playoffs. I'm gathering that's what they want us to do. There's no transfer budget, so unless we sell anybody, I think for the first window we may not be doing any business whatsoever. So we'll have a look, see what we can do, but it may be as it is. The favoured formation, 3 at the back. Interesting. I'm still not a fan of it, but we have used it previously and it has worked in our favour, some of it. So we'll give it a go, or we'll find something else that suits. A lot of loan obligations, especially players that are going out. They wanted to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team and under 21 for the future, but do not sign anybody over the age of 32. So 30 and 31, get some experienced players in, help the lads along the way, and there we can Bob's your uncle sort of thing. Sign players to develop for profit and work within the wage budget. Reach the playoffs. That is the goal for this first season. Or if we gain promotion straight away, bingo. If not, then I don't mind staying another season in the Championship as the players develop, depending on who we have. So money, they've got none. Apart from $6.5 million in the bank. No transfer budget. And yeah, wages have just changed from euros to pounds. If anybody's wondering why that changed from the first page from 300 odd to 294, it's because it was in the wrong currency. An error I keep doing all the time. I need to make a note again. With nothing there whatsoever, what's the staff situation looking like as we get rid of this? Okay, it's not too bad. Well above average for the Championship. That's pretty decent. And they've got a lot of spots to fill in as well. So just before we set any records out there for Watford, we've got 2 Sky Bet League 1 titles, 1 Sky Bet League 2 and a League Premier Division. I thought they'd won an FA Cup. I might have been mistaken, but they did finish runners-up in 84 and 2019. That's probably what I'm thinking of. And runners-up in the Premiership in, well, League 1 as it was, or Division 1 as it was in 83. No FA Cups, no Carabao Cups, no European Cups, no Cups of any note really, apart from the lower leagues. And that's something we will have to remedy. So let's have a look at our squad. So let's have a look firstly of our youngsters. So we've got quite a lot of, quite a lot of youngsters actually, up to 27. In fact, we've only got 4 players over the age of 30. And unfortunately, 4 of them players are probably our best players as well. But I think we have got plenty in here, though, to be honest. A lot with a lot of potential. So starting off, we've got Vata, or Rocco Vata, 19-year-old Irish lad. Too bad. Right winger, left, forward. Okay. Adeyemo, 19-year-old striker. 12 finishing. Caleb Wiley, he's on loan to us, a left back. They're not bad stats, actually. Not bad at all for a 19-year-old. I'd like to see some of these develop before we go up to the Premiership. There. Ryan Andrews, right back. Excellent. Definitely could use him. Young enough. Run up and down them wings. We got Pierre Dewoma, 20-year-old. Midfielder, Cam. Actually, looks pretty decent as well. I mean, some of these youngsters are really, really good. Tikvik, he's out on loan. Not bad going either, is it, really? João Ferreira. He's out on loan. Why is he out on... What? Can we recall him? He's out on loan. What? Why? Why is he out on loan? I hope he hasn't got a clause that they can buy him, though. Larucci, 23-year-old. Left back. Okay, decent. So we all get into the crook of the team, though. We've got Imran Loser. He can play cam, DM and midfield. Bashiru. Now, I've heard of him before. I'm sure I've used him in another save somewhere. But again... physicals look nice. So we've got a pretty decent side. How they've ended up where they were this season, I've got no idea, but that's something we will have to fix straight off the bat. Under 21s, so we've got Keiki Almeida, 19 years old. Defender. Looks like he's got a lot of potential. And Banqua, 20-year-old centre-back. Another centre-back. Wow, okay. Bringing these centre-backs through. Brilliant. Travis Akamia. He's got good physicals, but that's probably about it for this young lad. Ritardo. Not too bad, actually. Crossing's quite decent, actually. Better than some of the first teamers. And what about our under-18s? Have we got anything coming through there? Not particularly, unfortunately. Right, we'll see if we can probably get maybe a free transfer in, maybe. I don't know, but out it with the finances we have got, because we are overspending. So it might be a blank first window. With no transfers to talk about, we came close to signing Brandon Williams, but of course, with money as it is, we couldn't afford his wages. You know, we wanted something like £30,000 to £40,000 a week, and he was on a free as well. But our wages, we were overspending, and we had no transfer money because nobody wanted to go, or we couldn't offload anybody. So that was a bitter disappointment. So a waste of a window. But we do come out with some good things, though, to be fair. We've got some youngsters playing, and we're going with this formation that I have used in a previous rebuild, and it is a back 3-1. I don't particularly like it, but it seems to be the best suited to what we have. So things might change next season. I don't know. If we get promoted, we might have more money, or we just might embrace this formation and become really good at it. So we'll see how that goes. Results, not bad at all. Plymouth, we thrashed 3-1. Then we beat Peterborough in the Carabao Cup first round. We beat them 4-1. We lost to Norwich, but beat Sheffield United and QPR. Drew with Coventry. Some of them results really, really good, like the Sheffield United one, but we draw with Coventry, which was quite bizarre. Norwich, I think they're favourites for the league anyway, so that's not a bad result, but it was at home though, and it was a 44th minute goal just before half time, which is really annoying. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We lost to Gillingham on penalties away from home, but I'm not too concerned about that. It's more or less trying to get into the playoffs and gaining promotion. We are lying 5th in the table currently, which isn't too bad. 3 wins, draw and a loss. 10 points, 3 points behind Burnley. Norwich have lost a game as well, actually. They lost to Leeds. Okay, I forgot Leeds were in this division also. I thought Norwich were favourites. Clearly not. But we are 10th, 20-1. I don't think we have any players in here, unfortunately. Not yet, at least, anyway. So that's something we're going to have to work on next season if we get any money. So let's jump into season 1 straight away. Let's not beat about the bush, and let's get this rolling. September sees us beat Leeds 1-0 with a goal from Pollock in 96 minutes. We also beat Swansea 1-0 to get us higher up the table with a goal in the 80th minute. Our second one of the game by Ince. And November sees us scrape a 2-1 victory over Swansea with a goal in the 70th minute by Loser. We also had a narrow victory over favourites Burnley for the title as well, a 1-0 victory. Nice, well taken goal there. We also beat Cardiff along the way towards the end of the season 4-0 with Bayo setting us on our way as early as the 10th minute. And Toby Adeyemo netting the 5th goal of 5 in a 5-1 thrashing of Hull, nearing the end of the season with only one more game to go. And that final game didn't really matter. It was against Burnley and we beat them 3-1, completing the double over them. But we win the league straight off the bat in our first attempt. 7 losses in the end. 34 goals conceded out of 46. That is absolutely remarkable. I didn't expect that formation to work that well. Not this early. In fact, I was expecting to change it. We may not need to now. We just may need to get stronger players going into the Premiership now, because that's where we're going to be playing next season. Bayo gets 19 goals. We don't even win the Golden Boot. We have a couple of players in average ratings. Clean sheets, we got 20 by a goalkeeper. Larucci as well, 7 Player of the Match awards. Thomas Ince, 13 assists. We've done remarkably well, especially of the failings this season in real life. But looking at competition wise, we got knocked out in the 3rd round by Leeds in the FA Cup, and that was a 3-1 battering. So to say that we beat them in the league is I'd rather take that at this stage. And we got knocked out by Gillingham, as we saw at the beginning of the season in the second round. So not great on the cup front, but I think this more than makes up for it. If we have a look at our squad, then Bayo is the leading goal scorer with 21 goals. He is 28 years old though, worth up to £4 million. I'm wondering if, depending on the budget, whether we can bring him back, because that has helped us quite a bit, and if we can get somebody else, maybe he could be understudy to this next person. I don't know. We've got Georgie, I cannot pronounce that name, I do apologise. He played 41 games though, 25 years old, must be left winger possibly. 11 goals and 4, 10 and 13 there for Thomas Ince, which is great stuff. 11 assists for Larucci as well. Again, he's on loan to us, 24 years old, worth 6. Could we bring him back? I wonder. He looks pretty good as well, actually, doesn't he? Adeyemo, he did play 6, 11 off the bench, 4 goals. As we saw, some very important goals as well. And 32 goals conceded in 42 by our goalkeeper, Egil Selvik. With 20 clean sheets. That is nifty. That's really good. I'm kind of impressed by that, I have to say. We have got a small squad though, but I think everybody played apart from a couple down here. So, finances, we need to be better. So, 40 million. Okay, we could do something with that. The wages has gone up by about £200,000 a week as well. So, that's pretty good. With the parachute payments at the end of the season, we'll make that back in no time at all. So, let's move on to our first proper window. So on the transfers out, we do let go of 18.75 in the way of Rajovic, the forward, Las Palmas. I think he was on loan last season, I'm not sure. 10 million, he's gone. Vata, he's also gone to Brentford, 13.25. We're not using wingers. And Sissoko's gone to Young Boys for 350,000. So with contracts and transfers, we've still managed to spend £46 million. From Troyes for 5.25, we bring in Yasser Larucci, a left back. He was on loan with us last season. He looks really good, and I didn't want to waste that, especially how cheap he was. Bayo is another one from Udinese for, I think it was 6 million or something like that. He's going to be our backup forward this season because we spent 15 million for Cameron Archer from Southampton. I couldn't really say no. He was there, scouts picked him up, and yeah, very cheap. Sazonov comes in from Torino for 3.2. Defender, definitely going to be one of our first choices. Physicals, and he's only 23 years old. We spent 13 million on a goalkeeper, Voldemarsson, high potential. Hopefully he'll be here right to the very end. He's only 23. On the free transfer, we're bringing Antonio Mejano. We're going to use him as a cam player. He can play midfield or DM. In fact, he's very versatile and can play anywhere on the pitch, which is very, very handy to have. And finally, from Havre for 5.5 million, we're bringing in another centre-back. We have got quite a good, strong back line now, which I'm quite happy with. And he did score 4 goals for Havre in 100 games, so hopefully he'll start netting a few for us. He's only had 3 games so far, but we'll see what happens. I have changed the formation only to suit the players that we have got. I will be tempted to go back to the 3 at the back like so. For the time being, we're going to let our wing backs run up and down, and we're going to pack that midfield out. And to say it's gone pretty well for us so far. A 1-1 draw at home to Southampton. Not too ecstatic about it, I'm not going to lie, but we are struggling for goals. Leicester, we beat 1-0. Newcastle, we drew 1-1. And we scraped by Birmingham in the Carabao Cup on penalties. Archer hasn't scored yet. That's quite worrying. But we are lying in 11th position, unbeaten. I'll take that for now. If we get another win, we'll be up into a European spot, which is nice. And we've drawn Norwich in the next round of the Carabao. So where are we predicted to finish with the team that we have got? And it is rock bottom, 700 to 1. We did win the championship, though. That's what gets me. I expected to be above them. Oh well. We'll see what happens. And let's jump into Season 2 and see if we can survive first of all. And it would be nice for a mid-table finish. The early highlight of a dismal, miserable, poor season was this 3-0 thrashing at home to Chelsea. I mean, we absolutely battered them. Cameron Archer netting a brace, which is nice to see, although he wasn't really on form. Whether or not it's his fault or not, I don't know. But he finishes off with a plum for the second goal, and then a Wesley Fofana own goal, giving us a 3-0 victory in all I can describe as a woeful season. And if we just take you through some of the results, I mean, it's just a sea of red. It's awful. We had a very good December, 3 wins. That's embarrassing. It's how we, well, I just don't know. We survived by the skin of our teeth, winning 6 games, minus 39 goal difference. Second worst in the league. I mean, that is poor. Now, I'll probably be at fault for this, for changing the formation. I should never have changed it. Schoolboy error, and we'll take it on the chin. I don't think the other formation would have helped us either, but yeah, we're going to have a very strong think over the summer on this one, I gather. With yeah, we struggled everywhere. Utterly embarrassing. Competitions, we lost to Sheffield United in the FA Cup third, and we lost to Norwich in the third of the Carabao as well. I mean, it can't get any worse than that, can it really? And our side, 8 goals for Cameron Archer. He was our leading goal scorer. I mean, that just goes to show you how poor the season was. Definitely did not utilise him at all. We're just going to have to go again. And I mean, our goalkeeper only conceded 57 goals. So on a whole, it's not been that bad, I guess. But our other goalkeeper, 15-5. Okay, 48 million pounds to spend. Don't know about a complete overhaul, but we need to get 2 or 3 big players in here. I'm just hoping they want to come. So another eventful window. We sell 7.75 million with a couple of going. Quite cheaply, actually. Some fringe players that are not going to get any game time, and quite a few going out on loan. So 7 million added to the coffers. Contract renewals, so we managed to end up spending around about 35.5 million. Not as much as we were given, but of course wages have gone up and the demand is just crazy. So first signing for 12.5 million from Bournemouth, we bring in Dango Quatrara to play on the right hand side. Pretty decent, very quick. He can only improve with a goal and an assist already after 3 games. £8.75 million spent to Brentford for Pablo Mea. DM, we wanted somebody in that specific role, and I think we may have him. And he was very, very cheap, actually, to be honest. From Brighton, 5 million. We bring in a left winger who can also play on the right hand side. Jeremy Sarmiento, pretty decent, good potential. Only 3 games off the bench so far. That's because we spent 4.7 million from Sampdoria for Estanis Pedrola. He's going to be coming in on the left wing duties. I think he's slightly better, but we'll see what happens. He's had 4 full games so far, so that suggests he is. And we raid Brentford once again for 4.5 million. And Sepp Vandenberg, another defender. Again, decent stats with good potential as well. So hopefully he'll force himself into the first team as well, together with Zasanov. So we have switched it up again. We're going to a more direct 4-2-3-1. Bit more stable, 2 DMs this time. And we've got Estanis and Luza locked in together with Zasanov, because if we pick our best 11, for some reason they disappear. So I want to at least get them the games in them required positions. And so far the formation hasn't let us down. We beat Leeds in the first game of the season 2-0. Forest we win 3-2, which was a cracking result. We beat Portsmouth on penalties, 1-1 in the Carabao second round, of which now we've got Wolves in the next. And we drew with Southampton, which was disappointing, but that could have something to do with Archer getting injured. But more of a surprise is we're sitting in 4th position, 2 wins and a draw, with West Ham, Man City and Arsenal above us. So let's jump into season 3 and let's see if we can do a little bit better than we did last season. Another tough season as we see this win, the first one since the beginning of the season, in a massive 3-1 victory over Wolves, with Archer netting his brace. And then this came out of nowhere. We started off with a fine goal from Archer to start us off in a 3-1 victory over Manchester City. Wow. We suffered badly against Arsenal 6-1, with Declan Rice netting after just 2 minutes. Oh dear. But we had to wait nearly 2 months for our next victory, and that was against Leeds, with Sarmiento scoring the 3rd goal in a 3-1 victory. We were 2-0 up in this game after 4 minutes to round off an excellent 5-3 victory, with Pedrola getting the goal, his 2nd. Then we got smashed by Man City in the return game, 6-1. Enough said about this one, they're better I feel, but yeah, another drubbing. Calvert-Lewin scored against us in a 5-1 battering by Everton. Things just got bad to worse very, very quickly towards the tail end of the season. But Archer did get the winner in a 3-2 victory over Arsenal, running over the top. Dango just crossing it in for him. Excellent goal. Couldn't miss really. As you can see, we finished in 14th position. It's not the best position, granted, but we survived relegation. We got further away this time and further up the table. Not by much, but it's an improvement. Something drastically needs to be done. I think maybe a complete overhaul, to be fair. We just didn't feature in anything, but we did dominate the yellow cards table. Goodness me. We made it to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup though, losing to Aston Villa 3-2. That's a disappointment. It really is, especially being at home and getting so far. The 5th round we beat Chelsea after extra time, and the 4th round we beat Newcastle 2-1. And the Carabao Cup we got knocked out by Arsenal in the 4th round. Yeah, another hammering, I'm afraid. However, I'm pleased to say that we did score goals, with Pedrola getting 18 goals and 10 assists in 45 games. That is superb. And Archer, he did come good, scoring double than he did last season, 16 goals. I would have liked a lot more, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. We just have to find that right formation. Or do we cash in on him and get somebody better? Well, it depends who's going to come. He is only 25, but he should be reaching his potential at some point or other. Loser 8-4, 7-6 for Sarmiento as well. 9 assists there for Ferreira. Sazonov, we locked him in. 2 goals though, that's well done. And 80, wow, goalkeeper, 89 conceded in 44. Do you think our defence could be the problem maybe? Or the goalkeeper? We did have our other goalkeeper in for 1 game and 1 off the bench, and he conceded 7. It's a pity it doesn't tell you which games or what the results were in them games, but yeah, 7 goals in 1 and a bit games. That's not good on his part, is it really? If we're going to have a serious look at this squad now, 2 seasons in the Premiership, just scraping by, getting battered an awful lot, we need some money. And they are going to be backing us some more, £52 million. We've got 55 in the bank, so we'll have to have a look at this, and just under £100,000 a week in wages. It's not an awful lot when we consider we're going to have to do contract renewals, but I do think we may have to let go of some players that just are not performing. Starting off with the transfers out, £18.75 million pounds comes to the coffers. We lose our goalkeeper, who's gone to Saudi Arabia for £11.5 million. We also lose Porteous as well, gone to Norwich for £6 million. Bayo's gone, and Macaulay, one of the youngsters, I think. Hurtado's gone out on loan. We couldn't really sell him, and we lose Barr and Bashiru as well on loan also, just to give him the game time. First up is Verbruggen, the goalkeeper, for £18.25 million from Brighton. He only played 7 games for them in over 2 seasons, so they were quite happy to let him go. They bought him for 16. Only made a little bit of profit, but not an awful lot. But 5 goals conceded in 4 so far. Next up from Portsmouth, we spent £8 million on a left back. There wasn't really many out there, and he was probably one of the better ones with good potential. Although it doesn't look like it now. I'm sure he was about 3.5, 4.5 star. It's gone. In fact, we lost our major left back. That's probably the reason why we struggled so much in the season. From Leverkusen, £19.5 million, we're bringing another forward. Ratkov, he's only 24 years old, so we're going to have 2 young strikers up top. And he looks pretty good as well. 4 goals in 4 for us already. Marvellous. And finally from Chelsea, we bring in Gravenberch, £10 million. Although we are paying £120,000 a week in wages. I mean, it's phenomenal, really. But he's still got a lot to give. We're going to make money on him, actually. So £10 million, I think it's quite a steal. And looking at last season's transfers, Larouci, he's gone to Rennes for £18.5 million. That's why we struggled so much, I think. Because to be honest, he looks superb. I want to bring him back if I can. So tactically, we're switching up a little bit. We're just going to have a DM and a midfielder this time. And we're going to use a formation that I used with Gothenburg. Although we did have 2 DMs. So we have just switched it up ever so slightly and just given a few roles a change. But that's about it. We are locking Vandenberg in. If we pick our best 11, he goes out. And that is our side currently. Which seemed a lot better on paper before than it does now. But I still have faith. And the results have gone our way. We're only lost one game, and that was to Aston Villa 4-0. We did beat Palace 1-0, Brentford 3-0, which is a really good result. And we beat Leicester 5-1. Birmingham, we thrashed in the Carabao Cup 4-1, which makes a change because we have struggled in the earlier rounds. We're currently lying in third position, would you believe? I mean, after all that, how long this will last, I don't know. We don't seem to do pretty well once the season starts, though, to be fair. So we'll see what happens. And we've got Villa again in the third round. So, yeah, that's going to be nice for us. We're off the bottom, though, in the predictions. So I'll take that for now. So let's jump into season 4. Let's see if we can climb that table a little bit further. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this formation will work for us. And how about this for a result, folks? We beat Liverpool 5-2. With Archer netting a goal in the 86th minute to complete his hat-trick. And then away from home at Arsenal, Ratcliffe scores his brace of the game, stealing the ball at the back in a 4-3 victory against Arsenal. Wow. And then not long after, we got thumped by Spurs away from home, bringing us straight back down to earth with a 5-1 battering. And then we smashed Leicester 6-1 with 2 goals in added time, both by Ratcliffe, his brace coming in the 98th minute. And he scored again in added minutes, 94th minutes time, in a 5-3 walloping of Wolves away from home as well. And that's a nice kit too. And then towards the end of the season with Pollock scoring the 7th goal in a 7-0 thrashing of Sunderland. And we finished in an incredible 7th position. What a difference the formation has made. We'll probably tweak it again next season, just see if we can get a bit more out of them. But 20 wins, and we land ourselves in a European place as well, which suggests either we've got that place or we've won something. We haven't checked the FA Cup yet, though, have we? And that's because we did win the FA Cup. Here it is, folks, against Aston Villa in the final. A 3-1 victory despite going behind after a penalty. Gravenberch gets the equaliser before our forwards start doing the damage. But 34 minutes, we have to wait to the next goal. Excellent build-up toward in the end. Gravenberch being involved once again, and Ratcliffe netting the lead to give us a 2-1 lead going into the second half, where we just score straight afterwards. Aston Villa, we were just too strong for them, which in recent seasons they've been beating us quite easily. Along the way, we did have some fantastic results, including a 4-1 victory over Sheffield Wednesday. Arsenal we took to a replay and battered them 6-1 away from home. Everton 5-1. Then a cracking game against Luton, 7-5 in extra time. Must have been 5-5. Wow. Then beat Blackburn in the semi-final. Must have been the easiest of them all. And then Villa in the final. I mean, we killed every game. Apart from that 3-3, we could have easily lost out on that one. But yeah, Arsenal and Everton probably being the hardest of the teams really in there. Could have gone out so early, but we didn't. And there is confirmation. The trophy is ours. We have won a trophy. And now I'm not sure if that is our first FA Cup. It could well be. And the Carabao Cup, Aston Villa did us over in that one. So we got our own back on them in the final of the FA Cup. But a third round loss in the end, 4-0. Well, that's quite comfortable really, isn't it? And if we have a look at our squad, which seems a little bit thin, which probably works out better for us because everybody's getting the game time. And our 2 forwards, Archer and Ratcliffe, 32 and 29. 61 goals between the pair of them. Absolutely fantastic. Mia as well, 14 and 6. 13 and 16 for Pedrola. He's turning into some player he is at 24 years old now. Gravenberch as well, 26, 13 and 24. He's done wonders and his value's gotten up quite considerable as well. It's literally quadrupled. Sarmiento, 11 and 14. 6 players scoring double digits. Excellent. And Verbruggen, 89, conceding and 46. Doesn't seem any better than our last goalkeeper, does it, really? But we did score a lot of goals. So maybe we just need to improve on the defence a little bit more. Maybe we need to concentrate on that this season. And especially with going into Europe next season. And hopefully these players will thrive on that, but yeah, it's a massive improvement from previous seasons. Really pleased. So improvements all the round. So let's see if there's an improvement on the finances. Wow, £81 million. We haven't got it in the bank, but I'm suggesting that's because of European money. That is phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant. And well, wages, we're going to have to sort that out because not much in the way of wages, so we'll have to probably reduce that and yeah, make that shortfall. But I think we've got a pretty solid side now. We just need a couple of improvements. Right, starting with the transfers out, we'll look at this view because there seems to be an awful lot of things happening. Transfers out. Cameron Archer has left. He's gone to Newcastle. They activated a clause. He looks phenomenal. Let's click on the right one. He looks fantastic. I'm not surprised. At 26 years old, he's starting to come good. We definitely cashed in on him, that's for sure, but there's nothing we could have done. He was quite happy to go to a bigger club, and we lost our goalkeeper as well, Verbruggen. Alatad has got him for 30 million. I was looking to replace him, to be fair. There were other goalkeepers out there. I think conceding 80 odd goals in a season, it's an awful lot, and when you've got European football coming as well, we just need a little bit of security at the back, I think. A couple of others are gone, especially out on loan like Bar Hurtado and Bashiru as well. But we did spend 150 million, and that was on 36 million on Dean Huijsen, a defender, good potential, 23 years old, and if we can build him up again, not to sell him hopefully, but he's already nearly doubled his value, but he looks superb. We also bring in Evan Ferguson for 36 million pounds as well from Brighton. Because we lost Cameron, we had a lot of money to spend. I don't really want to spend it all out on a striker, but he was on a transfer list, and yeah, okay, I know how good he can be in the game, so let's team him up with our other striker. Also, we bring in a goalkeeper, Mads Harmonsen from Leicester, 27 million pounds, I think it was. I think he's better than Verbruggen, and he's 28 years old, in his prime, but I'm hoping that he's going to do it a little bit better, and he has conceded less goals, and that's with Leicester. From Spezia for 19.5 million, we bring in Ricardo Calafori, a left back. He can also play in the centre back role as well, but again, another decent player. Will Brand from Burnley, I've taken a punt on him, £14 million. He's got oodles of potential. He can play DM, but we're going to be playing him as a defender, see how he gets on. Physicals look really good. And I missed out Alessandro Zanoli from Villarreal, 16 million, a right back, just cover really, unless he forces himself into contention. And then there's just a couple of others for the youth team, I think. A couple of frees, yeah. Oh, yeah, there was Mateus Nunes, free transfer. I couldn't say no. We are paying a fair bit of money for him, but he's worth 55 million. So if somebody comes in for him, we're going to make money, and he's going to be with us as well. We've got a crack inside. It's just whether or not it all comes together. So the formation, we've just switched up a little bit just so we can put Bland and Huijsen in. I'm locking them in for this season, see how they get on. I'm hoping they'll grow this season. They're the preferred positions. We've also pushed the DMs into midfield, and if we pick our best 11, that's what we have. So Bland actually fits straight in. Wow, that's pretty good actually. We haven't got off to the greatest of starts. We did win the Community Shield though. We did beat Newcastle. So ta-da, another trophy on the horizon. That is brilliant. So the FA Cup, now the Community Shield. Really happy with that. Nunes got sent off in the 99th minute, would you believe? Villa, we drew 2-2. We did lose to Brentford. We beat Wolves 6-5. And Brighton, we drew 4-4. Still conceding a lot of goals though, but I'm hoping that that'll settle down eventually. And we beat Charlton in the third round of the Carabao. The Europa League, we've got Zurich, Lens, Slavia Prague. Sunderland, we've got in the Carabao next round. Transport, Girona, Maribor, Celtic and Midtjylland. Thinking we should be able to go through that comfortably. We are predicted 17th, so I would expect us to go through, but Dortmund in there, wow, that could be an obstacle. Currently lying 12th, so not the best of starts. And if we have a look at our predictions, because we haven't looked at that for a while, 14th. Okay, 150 to 1. We'll see how that goes. So let's jump into season 5 and let's see if we can get an improvement on our 7th place finish. Highlight of the season really comes in the form of a 7-3 victory over Brentford at home, with Pedrola netting a 7th goal of the game for ourselves in a marvellous win. And we followed that up not long after with an 8-0 victory over Wolves, with Gravenberch scoring in the first minute to set us on our way. And possibly the result of the season sees Meyer scoring in the 97th minute in a marvellous 4-2 victory at home to Manchester United. So you'll probably be excused for thinking we did quite well this season. In fact, we actually finished in 10th position. We drew 14 games, which is absolutely insane amount of games to draw. 53 points, some way off 8th place. Liverpool finished in 8th. Wow. Newcastle take the title. There's no real surprises up there apart from Spurs finishing 2nd maybe. Newcastle winning it. Villa in 3rd. All the other big 6 teams right below them. Ferguson did get 21 goals in the race for the Golden Boot, so he did well. Him and Ratkoff as well. Best players in the league. And Nunes gets 12 assists, with Will Bland getting 18 yellow cards. We did, however, get to the Europa League final. How crazy is that? With Dango getting us on the way after 27 minutes, thinking, now this is going to be a pushover. We had some difficult sides along the way, let me tell you, especially in the semi-final, where you probably, again, excuse yourself for thinking this is in the bag. And to be honest, it should have been. But Fiorentina get one back in the 68th, and then they go and win it right at the end as well to break our hearts and deny us a first European trophy. 89th minute winner in the end. So disappointed for the lads. They did, however, finish unbeaten in 2nd spot, so you probably excuse them for winning that then, really. A lot of excuses going on here. We did finish in 6th position, 6 wins. We're including a 10-0 victory over Maribor and a 7-2 over Slavia Prague. That is incredible. We scored the most in this league as well, 32 goals. Around the 16, we pushed past Galatasaray with a 4-3 victory. And then we beat Celtic 6-4 in the quarters. And then the semi-final, the big one, Borussia Dortmund. We brushed them aside 4-2 thanks to a 3-2 victory in the 2nd leg away from home as well. That is incredible. And you probably think we should have this in the bag, especially against Fiorentina. And unfortunately, it wasn't to be. So a runners-up spot in the Europe then, and we'll win in the Charity Shield. But the FA Cup, we got as far as the quarterfinals, losing to Chelsea 3-2. And 4th round by Sunderland on penalties. So overall, not a bad campaign. European football obviously taking its toll. So hopefully we'll make a more of a challenge for the top places next season after a good one last season. So 10th is a disappointment, but considering what we had to have this season, I think it's not bad. The squad, however, 38 goals for Ferguson, Ratkoff 33. Now the problem being is we're conceding an awful lot of goals, but we're scoring goals as well at the same time. So do we stick with 2 up front? And I do want to do that. We have Pedrola 18 and 17 from the wing. Phenomenal. Gravenberch 18 and 12, even better. He is worth up to 47 though. Nunes, he's worth 61, 16 and 27 assists. That is amazing. Quattro 11 and 12. We've got 6 players again on double figures for goals wise and assists, actually, to be fair. 10 assists there for Colafiore as well. 9 for Zanoli. 99 conceded in 60 games by a goalkeeper. I don't know what to do. Do we drop our 2 DMs back? Do we have 1 up front? It's a tough decision to make. We'll have to have a think about it. Let's have a look while we think about that. The finances, what are they giving us? 67 million. Okay, we can bring in at least a couple of more players, I think. We're going to have to start looking at the top end of the market now to bring in some decent players to fill in them spots. If we're going to have a DM, we need a proper DM, I think. Or do we go 1 up top? I just don't know what to do. I'd rather not go 1 up top, but 67 million is quite a lot of cash. Transfers out, we'll begin with 1.5 million, and that was from Jeremy Ngakia. He's gone to Birmingham for up to 1.8 million in the end. We do lose Bashiru out on a free and Hatato as well. Both didn't want to sign a new contract, which, to be perfectly honest, weren't getting any more game time. So, yeah, it just makes sense to let them go and let the contracts run out. We do spend 62 million First one from Ajax, I think around about £56 million. Majority of our budget, actually, to be honest. A centre-back, Hato. He's come to club, hopefully to shore up our back line. And also from CEC for £8.5 million, we bring in Diego Calais. Young goalkeeper, 25 years old. We have got Selvik, but he's into his last year of his contract, and I don't think he'll be here much longer. I don't think he's just not a good enough substitute. But Diego, I think he's a very, very good backup to have, because there has been a lot of interest for Mads. Tactic wise, we're changing it again. We're going to have one DM. That's where Bland is going to sit. I'm hoping when we pick the best 11. Hato in the back line, and we're going one up top, which is a risk, but we'll see what happens. So if we pick our best 11, Ferguson up top is Stannis, Dango, we've got Gravenberch, Nunes, Bland, Hato, Huijsen, we've got Ferreira on the right side, Calafore, and Hermansen as well in the back. So that's probably the side I would probably pick anyway. And it's not gone too bad, but again, we're drawing games. We just can't seem to get ourselves on the right foot, but we are unbeaten. 1-1 against Brighton, 2-2 against Wolves, 3-3 against Chelsea. It's going up and up, isn't it? But we did beat Norwich 2-1 away from home as well, so Pedrola netting both of them goals. The Carabao Cup, we are through to the fourth round even against Leeds now. We beat Northampton and Barnsley in the second and third round. We are currently lying in 8th position. Again, the draws stand out a mile. I'm hoping that'll all calm down. We'll start getting the victories. And if we have a look at the predictions, we will be seen as 12th now. So we are climbing that table. So yeah, we need to be into that top 6, I think, if we're going to start making moves for this title eventually. We had a very good unbeaten December. Amongst them was a 4-1 battering of Liverpool, with Ferguson getting a brace inside 4 minutes. We even beat Manchester United at home 3-0, with Gravenberch setting us on our way. Ferguson netted earlier in this game too against Newcastle in a fine 2-1 victory towards the end of the season to keep us in contention. And we did the double against Liverpool as well, with Ferguson again netting very early on in the game, 3rd to 4th minute in a 2-1 victory. And that ended us in 4th position in the Champions League spot. Wow. You just can't write the script, can you? 28 goal difference, 71 points this time, 3 points off Arsenal in 3rd, 5 off Newcastle in 2nd. Still a bit way off the leaders, but I think that can be caught. We did lose 9. Man City amongst them. Did we beat Man City? No, we didn't. But they did lose a couple of bad games though. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Sunderland, which you would probably expect them to beat. Ferguson, 19 goals in the race for the Golden Boot. Our goalkeeper, 14 clean sheets, which isn't too bad, but we may see him leave this season if bigs come in for him again. Bland tops the yellow cards, excellent stuff. We even get to the final of the FA Cup, which is a remarkable run considering we have won it once already, where we got battered by Manchester City 4-1. Bit unfortunate that, but a bit of a pasting in the final though, has to be said. And we got to the semi-finals and lost to Sheffield United 3-2, losing the second leg 3-1. 1-0 up in that game, and just to throw it away. We could have been in another final, and I would have fancied our chances as well against Palace or Wolves. That is really disappointing, especially with Sheffield United in the Championship. Unbelievable. Our squad did pretty well again. Only 5 players getting double figures though. 27 goals for Ferguson. Pedrola 16-11, 14-14 for Quattara. Ratkov 13-2. He's still got 13 goals. 13-15 there for Gravenberch. 9-13 for Nunes, which is pretty good. He's now 31. We may have to look to cash in on him, I think. But yeah, he's been outstanding. Maybe we might get another season out of him. I don't know. Unless Saudi Arabia come in for him and then offer obscene amounts of money. And Bland, wow, worth 90 million. Goodness me. 21 years old. We need more players like him. And our goalkeeper, well, that's a lot better. 50 goals conceded this season from 48. That is so much better. So maybe the formation for us may have to be this way for the time being. And our other goalkeeper, Calais, how did he do? He did play 2 games. He did concede 6 though, unfortunately. So still a bit of way to go. But I'd still rather have him than Selvik as a backup goalkeeper, though, to be fair. So going forward, next season, we need some monies and £57 million this time around, which again, I think we may spend on 1 or 2 players. So again, we kept the transfers to a minimum, and a few players go out. The Mayano, Kamwembe and Georgie, they're not going to get the game time. They have dropped off dramatically, and they didn't get any games at all last season, so it's best to let them go now. We did raise a little bit of cash, but not an awful lot. The players that we have got are the ones I think are going to help us win the league, barring a couple of more additions, and we'll keep doing that until we win it. So the players in, we spent all our budget virtually, £56 million after contracts, etc. And the first player we bring in from Arsenal, 30 million. We bring in Italo Carvajal, right back actually. He's got bags of potential. I'm hoping he is the one. If he's with Arsenal, he's got to be good, isn't he? So we drag him out. 30 million. It's a lot of money. He's worth up to 30. Wow. Okay. I didn't see that. But yeah, look at these stats. A lot of yellows. Aggression, 18. Acceleration, 18. 17 agility. He's got good pace. Good technique. He's got flair. I mean, he's pretty good all around, I think. And from Man City for 25 million, we bring in 23-year-old Santiago Garcia, a right winger. He can also play on the left as well, but he's very quick. Quatraro, I think, is better than him, just maybe. So we've locked them two in, and the formation stays as it is, since we did finish 4th in the league. And so far, so good. We started the Premiership against Everton with a 3-0 win. We drew with Villa 2-2. Disappointing considering we were at home in that, and it was an 89th minute equaliser for Villa there. And then we thrashed Spurs 4-0. I'm hoping this is a sign of things to come. Panathinaikos, Lyon, AC Milan, PSV, Lens, Galatasaray, Real Madrid and Inter Milan. I don't think we're going to come out of this group, but you never know. We are lying in 4th position currently, so 2 points behind Man City. So as long as we can keep up with them, I doubt it, but it would be nice to think that we can. And we are predicted to finish outside the qualifying places in the Champions League, which quite frankly doesn't surprise me. And we've got Newcastle in the next round of the Carabao. So let's jump into season 7 and let's see if we can get any closer to the top, and be interesting to see how well we do in Europe. We had a cracking game against Spurs, winning 4-0 at their ground with Hato netting our 4th goal in the 51st minute. We even beat Chelsea 4-0 at home with Garcia netting the 1st. We even beat Newcastle 1-0 in the 27th minute, I think it was. Carvajal over on the right hand side, crossing it in for Ferguson to bury it deep in the net. We did the double over Spurs this season with a 3-0 home victory, with Gravenberch netting the final goal in the 81st minute. 2 late goals in the last 10 minutes, with Garcia netting the 2nd of the 2 in what was a fantastic 2-0 victory over Arsenal at Highbury, or the Emirates should I say. And we even beat Man City at their ground, with Ferguson netting his brace in the 89th minute. And that meant we win the league. Unbelievably, toe-to-toe with Tottenham, 88 points apiece. Our goal difference was far superior, that has to be said. But wow, right at the end as well, if we have a look at past positions. So Spurs, they dropped off last game of the season. Oh my God, they threw it away. They lost to Arsenal and they lost to Man City 3-0 last 2 games. Ourselves, we stole it right at the end, last 2 games. So we must have drawn level with them at some point and then just taken it away, or we were 3 points behind maybe. But we had a 3-0 victory over Newcastle, and the final game was a 2-0 victory over Burnley. It's a horror show for the bottle jobs. I don't care. Watford have somehow done it. The stage is we scored 92 goals, so it's not surprising, more than anybody in the league, and we only conceded 27 as well. That is a testament to our goalkeeper and our defence, considering how badly we were in the previous seasons. We should have had this formation right from the start. Ferguson does not get the golden boot. Unfortunately, Haaland beats him to it. Gyökeres is there as well. He's playing for Spurs. It's no wonder they've been playing well, isn't it? Wow. And to top that off, we play the FA Cup final against Manchester City, who raced to a 2-0 victory after about 50 odd minutes, 55 minutes, 56 minutes in the end. Is it Foden? Is it Fati? It was Ansu Fati with the second goal. So 2-0 down already with half an hour to go. But we do stage a fight back with Pedrola getting one back, making it 3-1. And then we score in the depth of the game, 98th minute, I think it is. Fantastic goal from Gravenberch. And then we get a penalty in the last minute for Gravenberch to seal the victory. And it doesn't stop there. We win the Carabao Cup for the domestic treble. Gosh. We go ahead very early on. Ratkoff getting us on the way. Then we race to a 2-0 victory. Carvalho putting the ball in with Ratkoff again. I think that's his brace for the game before Rashford gets a consolation late on in the game. The last couple of minutes, 98th minute or something like that. But that is the treble done. Goodness me, I can't believe that. That's come out of nowhere. And the Champions League, we got all the way to the quarter-finals, losing to Arsenal 2-1. We did lose 2-0 away from home, so Arsenal's still a bane in our side. But the league phase, how did we do? We finished third, wow. With 6 victories. Inter Milan 4-0, Galatasaray, Lens, PSV, Lyon and Panathinaikos. Wow. That is something. Arsenal, wow, 8 for 8. Flipping heck. So the round of 16 we go and we beat PSG. Come on, it's no wonder we had a very good season. That shouldn't even happen. We're Watford. Wow. Arsenal, of course, the quarterfinals, yeah, but we did pretty well. 39 goals and 2 for Ferguson, 24 and 16 for Ratkoff. He got some game time as well, didn't he? Where did he play? Did we lose somebody? It feels like we've lost somebody. 15 and 9 for Pedrola. Gravenberch 15 and 12. Hoyson 9 and 2. Nunez 9 and 12. Garcia only 8 goals. Yeah, normally our wingers score goals, don't they? But he got 24 assists. That is insane. Carvajal, he got 17 assists. He was our right back. Our 2 right-sided players, 41 assists between them. Goodness me. And Bland, 5-star. Look at the lad. 22 years old. Remember the name. He's a regen though, I think. Goodness me. That is... Oh my God. What's his development? Let's have a quick look because, I mean, he's shot up. He was a 2... Well, it says 3-star there, but he was a 2-star. And yeah, everything's just shot up. I mean, he was good to start off with, but Carvajal's the same. He's going to go the same way. We've got some very good players. Whether or not they'll be able to hang on to them, but they can only get better with this, can't they? So this final save will be available to you. I'll leave the link down in the description if you so wish. You will be starting in 2030. It's taken us 7 long seasons to get here. So if you have watched this far and been patient, thank you very much for watching, that's for sure. So let's have a look. If you do take this file, how much money you will be having? 75 million. Okay. So looking at the history then, first time Premiership winners. We have won the FA Cup twice since we've been here in this rebuild. We did win the Championship, did we, or did we go up playoffs? No, we did win it. So we won that trophy and we won the Carabao Cup for the first time as well. So there's only a European trophy that is missing. We did come close to winning the Europa League. We lost to Fiorentina. So let's have a look at some records then, see if we did break any. So highest league position, that's for sure. Most league points in a season, we've got that one as well. Fewest league draws, which is good. Most league goals scored, 99 in a season. When did we score 99 goals? Oh, we didn't look at all of them individually, did we? It must have been when we had 2 up front. Highest gate receipts, 797,000. It's not a lot, but it was against Inter Milan. Highest average attendance. Biggest win, 10-0 against Maribor. So that was a broken record as well. Highest scoring match, 7-5 against Luton. I remember that one. And in the league, it was 6-5 against Wolves. Our highest average rating was Ferguson, 7.51. He was a steal at 30 or 50 million, I think it was. Nunez, 27 assists by a player. So, yeah, he still held on to that one. He's now, what, 31, 32 now? Mads did get the most clean sheets, 26. And Ferguson most player of the match awards as well. And the most we paid for a player as well is 53 million for Hato. And the highest transfer we received was the 80 million for Cameron Archer on his release clause. Unfortunately, despite asking for facilities and recruitment every season to be improved, it doesn't look like they have done so. We only had a look at the youth side and there wasn't really much in there. There was a couple of youngsters, but they were just way too young and were never ever going to get into the side, unfortunately. However, we do have a high reputation and good training facilities, which they're going to need, because 75 million, bring in another couple of players with the players we already got, renewals, jobs are good. And so thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you again on the next rebuild. Thank you.